I'm Barry with Wyant, and welcome to the Professional Cleaning Series. Today we're going to show you some of the products that you may be using in the washroom surfaces. We're going to start over here, and as we're dealing with these type of things, you're typically going to find a mirror or sometimes a glass surface in the washroom. Application with a glass cleaner, whether you have a large or you're doing it on a daily basis, you may have a dispense type of product, or you may have just a ready-to-use version depending on the size of your washroom. There's a couple of application tools that you may use. We prefer a blue microfiber. You want to make sure your selection of cloth you're using on glass and mirrors are not going to etch or scratch it. If you have large facilities, you may consider going to a window squeegee for doing across that in a quicker pattern. Secondly, you're going to need to use a disinfectant. This is used on touch point areas. Touch point areas including on the toilets and light switches, things that people will touch with their hands. Those areas, if you're in a healthcare facility, are going to be called fomites. You may hear that term. That's what we're working to use on a disinfectant. The choice of application that we use there is also with a microfiber cloth. It enables us to clean that surface very effectively. There's also going to be cleaning within the bowls itself, some of the heavy accumulations that we have within a washroom, and we have a selection of bowl cleaners. Remember to pick a bowl cleaner based on the frequency as well as the soil load or soil buildup that you have in your facility. You have two different brush options, typically a swab or a brush. I like to use the swab if I'm doing it more frequently and go to a more stiffer brush if you're doing it on a less frequent basis. There's cream cleansers you may use. I like using a cream cleanser if I'm going to be dealing with a sink or a countertop that has some staining onto it or in an older facility. Because of the cleansing action that are into it, remember to use just a plain cotton cloth as opposed to a microfiber. This is going to allow you to work more effectively with these polishing type of agents. There are some specialty type of products that you may need to use as well. We have drain cleaners if you have any hair buildup or proteins in the sinks. That's going to help clean it off. We also have bio-based products either for odors or if we're going to be cleaning in different areas which are growed on the walls or in there as well. That's going to give you the ability to get rid of those odors in the washroom. The other chemical that you may have is a foaming type of product. If you're dealing with showers or vertical surfaces, you can apply that either with a basic trigger sprayer that creates foam. You'll need to create something different here. Or if you have larger facilities of a shower area, you may go to an applicator that hooks directly up to water very effectively for doing that. If you're using spray bottles, there's a couple, and we always call them spray bottles, but there's a selection of trigger sprayers or heads that you can find on them as well. A simple trigger sprayer, even though if you are using a trigger sprayer, we do recommend that you put it directly to the cloth as opposed to breathing in the fumes, or going to a flip top cap that will fit right onto the surface here as well. This is our preferred method for disinfectants. As I showed you before, we also have a foaming sprayer if you're dealing with a foaming type of product. Other things you may need in the washroom are your supplies. You have toilet tissue of your preferred size, Kleenex, and also some urinal blocks or urinal screens if you have in there as well. For detail work, there's a couple of tools that you may need to have: a brush, a small grout brush that may be effective, or if you're doing large floor surfaces in the corner, you can get into a large end scrub brush. I always like to keep on my colored buckets one little trick that just helps separate so you know where to use one cloth over the other. Last but not least, remember your safety products. Gloves are very important. You're going to be touching some very soiled surfaces, so make sure that you use gloves. And if you're dealing with foaming products above the face, especially or an area that's going to be splashing, or if you're transporting products, make sure you're using eye protection as well. Lastly, don't forget to wash your hands. When you're leaving the facility, you've got something that's potentially on your hands. Make sure you use a hand sanitizer for keeping yourself personally safe as well. So this is Barry from Wyant reminding you to keep clean and stay safe, and thank you for watching this video.